Try to remember the last time you were at a grocery store. How often did you see a product labeled as natural or all natural? What does natural mean? We see it on so much packaging, but many don't know what this actually is saying about the food they are buying. According to Merriam-Webster, it means growing without human care and existing in or produced by nature. In other words, it means not artificial. But look at this goldfish packaging. Does this mean that goldfish grow without human care and are not artificial? Of course not. But how are companies like this able to say that their product is natural? This is because the regulations on this are very loose, and the word natural when written on packages means very little. The FDA states that the term natural means that nothing artificial or synthetic has been included in or has been added to a food that would not normally be expected to be in that food, which is an incredibly loose and unspecific regulation. The opposite is true with the word organic. The USDA certified organic label has a much more significant meaning and can be a helpful tool for parents to use. Unlike the word natural, the regulations on whether it can be used on packaging are strict. Now, let's take a look at a Go-Go Squeeze ad. It displays a tactic where text sizing is used to draw viewers' attention to selective parts of the screen. See if you can notice when this occurs.
Chase loves the feeling of the ball on his feet.
I'm Chase Carrera and I'm 12 years old.
And the Carreras know that when you dream of turning pro, every moment counts to squeeze out the best in him. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Even the pros need a break, Chase.
Made from 100% fruit and no sugar added in a squeezable pouch. Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Here is where the ad uses a tactic. The viewer immediately sees words with large lettering, while they do not pay attention to smaller text far from the center of the screen. The big green text with an appealing font says positive things about the product, but the small text, which is barely visible due to its color and the fact that it is at the bottom of the screen, says relatively negative things about the product, but the viewer would not usually notice this. In this way, the company is able to get around regulations by not outright lying. Many products technically have no sugar added, but that does not mean much, as the product often may still have a lot of sugar or be unhealthy to have a lot of. This is perfectly shown by this ad, because the hidden text at the bottom is something the ad needed to disclose legally, but got around this by making sure few people would notice it. Another way word choice in advertisements can be used to influence viewers, especially children viewers, is when an ad implies happiness or something a viewer might desire being the result of their product when they do not necessarily relate. The first example we will look at is the Starbucks ad, where they advertise their drinks and store as a place where you can be yourself, when this has no real relation necessarily. This strategy isn't only done through word choice, but generally makes heavy use of it, as word choice is an easy way to directly add to the vision the ad shows you. Now, let's take a look at a Nike ad, where the video would work by itself, but the audio, word choice, and narration accentuate the emotion the ad tries to evoke, making it much more convincing.
Just like running, life has its uneven terrain. Its ups and its downs. Running is an opportunity, a time to find out who you are. A chance to find your limit and push through it. It's been said many times before, but it's the little things that count.
Here, Nike attaches themselves to running and pushing through adversity, implying that the viewer can do this themselves if they buy Nikes. This is very dangerous, especially towards children, as they will often have unrealistic hopes for what a product can do for them.